Welcome back to Anno 117. In this episode, we are going to do some of the trading stuff, which also means increasing some of our production of the regular wares back in Latium. But the first thing we're going to start with is...
Proud pillars they built for the gods, like
Indeed.
trees in a grove.
We're going to start out with making cheese here in Tizium. So let's go have a look at what that one involves. It involves ox farms, which require wattle and daub. Or daub, I don't know what would be the most correct way of saying that. Now we have this massive swamp here. Probably not going to be massive once we get around to it, to be honest. So the mud, 1 minute 30. And the reed gatherer is 1. So that is 322. Not sure if I'm going to be lucky enough to be able to fit
Construction of a ship has finished.
2 of these here. I am. These do not know. They don't have any of those silly... Do they? No. I mean, they're not silly, but it would be very inconvenient if I would have to place down those as well. We can have a warehouse there. Sorry about my voice being a little bit squeaky. Let's rotate this that way. And then we can have a road going like that. That can meet up with the road down there, I think. And then the next thing we are going to need is reed gatherer. We need 3 of these reed gatherers. I'm fairly sure that even with the yield thing in here, we should be able to fit 1, maybe 2 reed gatherers on this side. So let's just try that and see. Lagging a little bit, it seems. I doubt we're going to be able to fit 2. Maybe. But it's going to be incredibly lucky if I am going to be able to place 2. What are you down to now? 165, so 15 more to go on. That one is full. So if I place the other one down there... Oh. Oh, that's handy. 139. So I can remove some of this again. That's better than I thought. $118, 139, 140. Okay, so that's 2 of them. But we need a 3rd one as well. Let me just double check that just to be sure that I'm doing this correctly. I'm fairly sure that I'm correct on this, but I just want to make absolutely certain. 232. Yep. I am getting better at this. Scarily enough. Is there any way I can claim now? I can't. So go around there. Did I get... No, let's get that as well. There we go. That gives us 2 of these and 3 more of those. And we still have a lot of territory here we can cover with whatever else we need. We're going to need some of that. I should probably go here and to construction materials and set this to buy on a minimum stock of 100, I think. Set these to 100 as well. Likewise with the concrete. Don't think we need to buy marble up here. I could set it to buy timber as well. I might as well. These roads out here have a tendency to take an excessive amount of timber, so... Now I'm going to pause the recording until I have, let's say, 20-30 of it. So, be right back. There we go. As you can see, I now have 77 of it, but I wanted to wait until I had 10 mud so that I can actually set up these laborer yards. Now, these do require smiths, so we're going to need 10 smiths.
Fire has started in your city.
That seems to be mostly within the range of the... That building isn't. Although, there are 3... Yeah, that one is burning as well. Okay. Put down that for the time being. Let's go back to where I was. And then... Not cheese. Laborer's yard. But I needed 5 smiths, so I need a couple more smiths. That is the wrong upgrade.
There's worse than an evening at the hearth, listening to some old mumbo-jumbo.
Okay, so how do I do that?
Shoes of reed are better than
Okay, so I
none
can switch
shoes
between
at
it like
all.
that. That's nice.
Just about.
I like their accents. Kind of amusing. Yeah, that's 14. Now... I don't know. Suppose we can just place 2 of them like that. That means we're making 2 of that per minute. Or Wattle and Daw. What an interesting name. Now for the cheese, the ox farms require 4 waders, whereas the dairies require 4 smiths. And it's 1 ox farm to 2 dairies. Well, that's good. This one needs to be upgraded. These ox farms, I suspect they have... They do affect the health, which is unfortunate. But I suspect these have... Yeah, they have those. I suspected as much. And of course they are uneven. So... a bit of layout playing with these. I'm not gonna spend too much time bothering with layout tomfoolery right now. So what I'll do is that. I'll build a road out there, which means we could probably get a warehouse there. Means we can get a road going just around it like that. And that should be enough for 2 dairies. Are these very expensive? No, not really. Now I do know that we are going to need a fair amount of cheese to be sent back to the civilized world. I am not at all happy with this layout. So let's see if we can't change. Okay, let's tear that down again and do it there instead. I should be able to get two like that. And of course the game does not allow me to do that. But what I can do is put one there. That works. That means we have enough for 4 cheese farms. Or dairies. Cheese farms. That would be nice. Farming cheese. These are not that big. They give happiness in an area effect. So I would actually want to put them inside of the city. Interestingly enough. The beer does require charcoal burners. I need to factor that into account as well. I need to have charcoal somewhere. Maybe all the way out here? Now this thing is going to plant the trees now, I think. I wouldn't mind having it. No, it's going to affect enough buildings anyway, so...
Construction of a ship has finished.
Here we go, and planted the trees. Although, having it that close... I'm just going to put it like that, so we can get the beach here. We may have to move it later on. That is, of course, for the beer. Barley farm is not in the marshes, thankfully. That is 1 to 2 to 1. 2. I don't think we need breweries outside of Albion. I don't think there is any buildings in Latium that requires beer. That is good. This microphone thing is annoying me. I'm getting a new microphone arm today, so that probably will help a bit, but yeah, it's not much I can do about it. So whenever I forget myself and I talk too gently, then my voice tends to be a little bit too faint, and I really try to fix it. I noticed that in the last episode it was a touch too loud, but yeah. Cheese. I'm going to require some space for the dairies. These are... Okay, if I remove that road, and I move these houses up one, then these houses can be moved up here. That should give me room for 1 dairy kitchen there.
Who's your dues?
Who's your dues? Orange and rubber. Or something. That's gonna take away trees. Sure. And we can have a dairy kitchen up here.
There is a shortage of workforce in one of your cities.
That takes away some smiths. Let's just do that. No, there is. Oh, that is a lot of new options. The cheese does give happiness, but it doesn't give population. What what gives population is the beer. The trousers. This recreation ground, I'm not sure if I'd really need that. Gives happiness, health, and prestige. Prestige wouldn't be bad, but I think I'd rather have the Grammaticus, to be honest. They don't... Well, they need it as one of the upgrade paths. They have the Farnham, so I just won't get it in golden, which is fine. But I need more cheese kitchens. So how about removing that road, which means I need to make sure that this fire station has some road connection. Then I take these houses and I move those to there. Then I should be able to fit a cheese kitchen there. And then I need a final one down here somewhere. This road can go. And I can move these houses up there. If I now remove that road bit, is it space for cheese? It is. Of course, I cannot. So I'd have to move these houses down there. Then I need this little bit of road. Cannot get connection to the other side. That is mildly annoying. So I guess these houses have to go up here. Because I'd really like to have a road going over to the other side there. I don't really need that road. Like, so that's 4 cheese kitchens. That is covering the entire city. There is room for one house down there, so why not? There, it looks like there's room for a house there, but there isn't because it is partially on the beach. There, however, there's room for a house. Yeah, the Albionic buildings are a little bit more finicky in terms of building sizes. I'm at 26 Smith workforce. Upgrade the buildings that are in the center-ish of the city. Okay, so that gives us all of the things we need. Drinking horns, that will require tin. Interesting. Ceremonial shields. Oh dear, that's tin, copper, bronze, weld. This is going to be fun. Trousers is easy enough. Weld we have on this island, so that's fine. That's the dye. The same goes for the shields. So the torques require copper. I haven't seen that. Iron and silver, iron and silver. So this one is tin and granite. This one has iron and copper. This one has copper and silver. This one has copper and silver. This island does not look fun to build on at all without Romanizing or using the marshland drainage. The weld crops are basic farms. So this would be 1 sheep farm. To 3 welded crops. No, okay, that one I actually need to look up. My brain isn't functioning at this level quite currently. Trousers, yeah, so 1, 2, 3. So it's 1 sheep farm to 2 weld to 3 trousers. Although this, but it does skip population. The sheep farm is simple enough. It's sad I can't fit one in there. Would be nice to use that building area space for something. What? You're missing mud. I'm fairly sure I did this right. 190%? You... So, why is it producing too little mud? I mean, I could always do this. To be very specific, what I would want to do here is this. So I don't lose all this space for potential farms here. Then the next question would be, would it be possible to... Well, actually, the next thing I would like to make is beer, which gives -1 knowledge. I'm guessing the Celts aren't huge on knowledge. This does detract fire safety, so these I probably do not want to build these inside of the city. Look at these barley farms. 120. So probably not enough to put down 2 of them. Actually, it is enough to put down 2 of them. So, if I then try to sneak a sheep farm in there, then I have at least a decently-ish enough amount of tiles covered here. I think I'm just gonna upgrade this entire road stretch here to be paved. Can I fit a warehouse there? Yes, I can, if I remove that and replace it there. Then I should be... No. Never mind. And I'm fairly sure there's no tiles left for... I mean, maybe there are, depending on what I do here. Not sure how I managed to get this down to 135. Just being very creative now. This can be stone as well. I don't think I have the necessary tech to make these into stone. Okay, so I have one barley farm. I have 2 barley farms. And I then can have 4 malt houses. That was probably a little bit excessive. I think we're just gonna gently start out with I'm gonna start out with 2 of them. I don't really want them inside of the city. Okay, so that means the smiths are getting beer soon. They are getting cheese. We should be overproducing cheese, I hope. Yes, by far. Good. Good. The other island over here should also be overproducing brooches, but I'm going to just build a 3rd one of these to be sure.
You here to see how the sausage is made?
I don't know why I would go to the silversmith to see how the sausage is made, but if you say so, I suppose you may have a point or something. I'm not sure. No, is the answer. I'm not here to see how the sausages are made in the fibularium. Unless they are fibbing and they're actually making sausages, pretending they are silver brooches. Okay, that was bad. Okay, I just need to check this one as well. 1 silver mine to 2 silver forges to 4 fibulariums. Do I produce enough? I should, but I'm just gonna check. Yes, I'm producing ample charcoal on this island for that. Okay, now for the other way around, I'm going to need to send up, I guess, bread. Because I'm producing that in excess. Let's just add that. Soap, of course, amphora, and olive oil. That is required up here. Whereas the cheese and the brooches are required the other way around.
Waiting for your decree.
I'd really rather want to use a ship like this one that actually has ores. And I do not have space for any more of the timber. Can I build a depot on this island? I can.
So Praetor.
Off you go. So this is going to be, and the dad hiding in her. Now we're going to be interesting. Or the names are going to get interesting now. So this is LA T01, not +1, 01, ship 01. LA doesn't really help if I do. I'm actually going to do that to show that it is from Albion to Latium. I could make it easier for me by doing A to L so that I know that it is Albion to Latium. So I also need to go in here, and I need to go to consumer goods, and I need to go to cheese, and I need to set that to the minimum stock of 75, I think. It's gonna take a while for me to build up the necessary stuff. I'm gonna set these to 75 as well.
Neptune's finest.
Okay. Create a trade route. I'm going to add Danium Stabanusius, Tizium, and then in Latium we are going to add the Capita Caledon. So on Danium Stephanusius we're going to load up on brooches. I believe it's called brooches, even though it's written brooches. Brooches sounds completely wrong to me. On Tizium we are going to load up on cheese, and then we're going to drop those off on Capita Caledon. Establish route. And this one will be Albion to Latium trade 01. I don't know why it puts the name of whatever you're trading, because you have these icons. Move to group Latium Albion. And this way I'm going to see, because it's going to alphabetize it, so anything going from Albion to Latium will be grouped together, and anything going from Latium to Albion is going to be grouped together underneath there. I wish I could get rid of those modification things, like this constant trade route with issues, because I'm aware of the fact that they have an issue. I've turned off the modifications for it, but I doubt I can actually get the warning away. It's not a major disaster. I can live with it. Now the other thing we need to do is go back to, because that was the first part of this. And the second part of it is not that one, but going here and then back to Latium, because we need to do this the other way around as well. In the process of that, I should have, yes I do, so I'm going to send 2 of these ships, and I'm going to send those to Albion to, let's just send Knocknees. Really? That is an awful pun, but okay. Send 2 of these to Tizium.
Neptune's finest.
Can I take workforce? I might be able to change the workforce. They probably all require Libertus. I'm going to build 2 more of them, and then after that we're probably going to move over to Quinquirums. There's a festival.
I await your instructions.
Cerealia on Hereticus Volume. I'll pay for that. We get a Materialist Medicus. How heretical. It doesn't seem too bad. We're 358.
Your orders?
That's 200. Yep, I can agree with him. If you could just get someone like that for fire safety. Because this island has awful fire safety. It would help if I built an aqueduct, but there's just too much to keep track of currently. So we have lavender on that island, and up here we have flax. So the thing that I want to do is build at least 2 more lavender farms. I'm thinking I would really prefer to have 4 more of them, but I would want them to be away from these pig farms so that I don't get the health negative. Of course, that is going to be interesting because it's going to require a little bit of creativity on my end. Like so. These fields are huge. 200 and... Do I have... Hold on a minute now. Yeah. I have the... Vervactor's Plough. Okay, so that means that instead of... Oh, Jesus Christ. So 2 is 3. So 4 is 6. And... But that means I need to redo the fields. Jesus Christ. I need 3. And I'd rather have those up here than down there. Okay, this is going to be interesting. Move all the fields. And this one actually has to be that way. There's 270. I'm not going to be able to fit that on that side. There's no river slots or anything that's going to mess with this, no. Good. That's 196. Now what am I doing, game? I'm blaming the game, not myself. I mean, I'm sure you would do the same. This is 270. That is perfectly brilliant. I wouldn't have minded if I had that one spot there, but I can live with that. Okay, now the next part here, and this is going to be very interesting now that I'm going to have to build in 270 fields. And I still need access, or want access to that. That's 1. That's 2. Dude, this is really, 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 really a lot of fields. That's 3. Now does of course that's road to there, and then that can go like that, and then we can get the lavender fields like this. 179, 209, 269. It's gonna be like that. That means that I have, in effect, 3, 6, 9 lavender farms. That is probably way too much. I do not believe these are affected, and I do not believe these are. These, of course, do need the charcoal for the festival. Ilaria on Smithium Jordanium. That gives us a cursory Bursarius. Gives more income. Let's have a look at our specialists in here. And that specialist gives +2 income. Okay, I'm gonna put him in here. We're at 7,935.
A little markup here and there. You'd be surprised what you can get away with.
Yeah, that wasn't really massive, but it's something. I don't think it matters if I put him here on the or on the other island, because income is flat. So he just gives +1.2 income to every building. So, for instance, this temple here will have an income of. It doesn't say from the specialist.
The stridulating crickets
So,
of the sanctuary disperse
yeah, he affects
unwelcome thoughts.
any residence with 1.2, period. Residences in range. Okay. I could put him on my island, actually. If I put him here, it'd just be more houses. That's the only thing. So I'm overproducing lavender by insane amounts. Not that I mind, but the health thing is going to be a tiny issue, though. The reason I'm doing this is because I want more soap, so that I know that I have enough soap for the Celtic or Albionic islands. I mean, there's got to be a way to do this better when it comes to the
Storage can't hold your greatness, Gav.
storage can't hold my greatness. And you're telling me that on a pig farm. Thank you so much. I'm flattered. Okay. There's got to be a more sensible way to do this. 1. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's how you do it. Okay.
Construction of a ship has finished.
Oh, perfect. How did I do that? Come on, game. What do you mean promotion not possible? Okay. Well, if you say so. I guess I'll just have to build them the old-fashioned way then. I think that's a bug, to be honest. That happens occasionally. Now, what I do want to do is move these guys over here, just for the time being. And then I want to move these guys over here. Remove the road. Then take these guys back. And put them in like that. 3. And then do this. And then to make it symmetrical, then I want to do that. Then I want to just plain out copy those and slap them down there. Copy those. Yeah, sure, because I need to move these or turn these around anyway so that they are. Okay, that gives me the option to either put the road there or I could mess with these fields. I think I really want to mess with these fields right now. That means I can have 4 soap makers. I mean, I can have so many soap makers, but I just need, based on the lavender, I can have. How much lavender and
Eckways goes to the bathhouse looking for his
yeah,
friends.
sure.
Slave says.
Shut up. So 2 minutes to 1. So I can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 soap makers. That's just overkill. Let's paint out these fields again.
Done.
Even that is 6, so I could have 2 more of each of these. Now, the soap buildings or soap makers. I never remember where I have those. Apparently I have them there. Which isn't the best place to have them, considering my happiness is rather low at the moment. Put 2 of them here. gives -1 happiness, but it gives +1 health. We should have an abundance of... Maybe not an abundance. Pick both of these. Might have done a calculation error here. $150, 300, 600%. Which basically means that instead of 1 minute 30, it's a 1 minute each. So why this is saying 3, I do not know. It should say 4. Because at 150%, I'm reducing I very distinctly have 4 lavender growers on this island. So why is it telling me that I have 3? That does not make sense to me. Either that is a bug, or there is something that I'm not understanding here. I'm not sure which. I do have 4 soap makers. There's also the IGA festival. Yeah, okay. I'll just be confused by that. That's fine. We can also, since we have that Vervactor's Plough, I can also go and redo all of the farms on all of my islands, because all of these can now support more fields, which means I can severely reduce the amount of farms I have on the islands that are devoted to series, which would be the Capital Island and the Hereticus Volume Island. I can remove that again. That was just for me to test. But I don't understand why this is telling me that it went down again. So one of the buildings isn't working, I suppose? Am I full? No? What the heck is going on here? What am I doing wrong here? I don't get it. Let me just see if I go to soap, I put in 150% because there's a handy calculator. Okay, so 150% doesn't actually reduce it to 1 minute 30, it reduces it to 1 minute 20. So I do need another... Okay. Ah. Why couldn't it just be nice and simple? Mathematics can never be nice and simple.
Construction of a ship has finished.
that should bring me to 4. Good. If I now click these 2 islands, I should be producing still 2 little lavender, so I actually need... Fine. Build the final one. Wally's gonna have a laugh when he watches this episode. Thank you. I am most pleased. Okay. Now, there are... The other thing that I wanted to make and produce and send up is amphorae. There are 4 things we need to produce and send up there. We have soap, so the bread actually, amphorae and the olive oil. When it comes to bread, I think we are probably overproducing quite a... Nah, I need to build more of the wheat farms. So bread and amphorae. Not perfect. Olive oil. I think we're full on olive oil.
Done.
So... Okay. Sell when above 0. I don't want to sell. Okay, that's a tiny annoying little bug. I don't want to sell that at all. You see, the same has happened here. So whenever there is apparently a bug here, because I set it to minimum stock 200. But when you go out, click another good. So it did apply to both of those, but it only applies it to one at a time. So for each good you want to sell, you need to do whatever you want to do, then exit the building. So that is clearly a bug, and I'm sure that if I go into the known issues, I'm going to find something about that. But I don't want to sell wine, and I don't want to sell bread, and I don't want to sell togas, because all of those are needed up there. And at the same, I don't want to sell them for either, because those are also going to be needed in the new world. However, I do want to set the minimum stock of these to 200. All of the things that I know that I'm going to send off to the new world. Pine glass 2, eventually. So wine, togas, pine glass, soap, bread, amphora, and olive oil. There we go. Now, when it comes to the amphorae, I'd much rather send up bread than amphorae on the first trader. I'd like to send up bread, soap, and olive oil for the first trade round. So what I'm going to do in between episodes, I'm going to redo the farms on this island, and I'm going to build up the restock supply of bread, since apparently that bug happened. That also means that I'm going to redo the farms for everything on the island. I'll probably go ahead and redo the farms over here as well, yes. Maybe events happening in the in-between. I mean, we're at a point now where, like, I don't want to not record because there are things happening. And then again, there are
Good
very
food shows hospitality. Fine tableware shows class.
yes, and there are certain things that are very repetitive. So I'm not sure how to do this, and I'm not going to be. This episode is like Wednesday, which is a week from now. So I'm not sure how to do this. I'll do a little bit of stuff off the recording, and then I mean, could record everything I'm doing and then edit it in Premiere, but that's gonna be painful. So yeah, we're just gonna do it the way that I spelled out now. I'm going to there's one thing I can do. If something happens, I can record and I can stitch things together in Premiere, I suppose. But I really prefer have the episode like this because the less video editing I have to do, the happier I am. It's not that I actually enjoy working with Premiere, but in regards to the fatigue stuff and stuff like that, I'm a bit worried that if I overextend myself with having to do a lot of work on this, then the way that I'm enjoying this now, because I am really enjoying this, that might be a bit diminished by the fact that I have to do way too much. And the series, while the views are okay, if I had thousands and thousands of views per episode, then definitely I would be investing. It would feel more this sounds wrong and right at the same time. I think that you understand what I mean when I say that it would feel more worthwhile. It's not that I don't that it the way that I do it isn't worthwhile, but it would feel more worthwhile to spend a lot of time per episode to do all the refining, video editing, so forth, so forth. If I had thousands of views per episode, and I think most of you are getting what I mean by that. It's not meant as a oh, I don't value your views because I truly, truly do. It's more meant as a effort versus value thing for my own time. So I would rather just make more episodes where things are repetitive. I suspect most of you are watching this. Most of you who are watching this are watching it more as relaxation, and that you genuinely prefer my bantering silliness and so forth, and not necessarily are looking for the very refined, edited experience that you get from the large YouTube channels. So I think that I haven't insulted anyone by accident by saying it the way that I just did. At least I truly hope that that came across the way that I intended to come across. Because my point is that if, say, I have to stitch things together, like, or let's say I have to do a 4-hour session of playing and I record everything in Premiere, making that into an episode is probably another 4 hours at least working in Premiere. Recording in small segments and then stitching that together in Premiere isn't that bad, but then you'd have this weird thing where the music would be odd because it would be going from one song to another abruptly. Not totally abruptly, but it would be a transition in Premiere. I kind of feel like the best thing then is just to do stuff in between the recordings and then spend 10 minutes or something like that explaining what I've done since the last time. Okay, that was a rant of another, like, I think I was ranting for 5 minutes there, but yeah, it's me. You guys, you know me. I'm sure you're used to me by now, so it's fine, I suppose. Hope. Anyways, we're gonna wrap things up here after that little rant. And if you have any comments and or suggestions, I'm sure there's going to be a couple of comments on that little rant. I genuinely encourage you to make comments on that rant, especially if they're of the teasing kind. Then please do feel free to leave comments and questions down in the comment section. And as per usual, I'm also going to ask you to, if you do not have any comments or questions, please leave an emoji, something funny, small joke. There's been a couple of exceptionally bad puns on some of the videos that I have enjoyed immensely. For instance, did you know that in Rome, it's kind of difficult. You have to do it in the Roman. It doesn't quite do, like, think Roman numerals. Poison I, poison II, poison III. Those poisons killed you instantly, whereas the poison IV only gave you a bad rash. Yep. Let's just leave it there. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you all in the next episode.